She was down 5-1 in the breaker. 1 point from the airport, and the commentator had already whispered, "Too big a mountain." "35 seconds later, Alexandra Eala was screaming into the Flushing Meadows sky. The first Filipino ever to take a Grand Slam main draw singles match. Stick around, because this isn't just a comeback. It's the whole Philippine archipelago rising out of the Pacific and punching a hole in the tennis map. Let's rewind 16 years. Quezon City, 2009. A left-handed 5-year-old is whacking balls against the parking lot wall of a grocery store because the public court's roof is leaking. Dad tapes a line on the wall at net height. Mom keeps score on a chalkboard, and every shriek of the ball sounds like hope ricocheting off concrete. No agents, no federation budget, just weekend tournaments where the winner gets a roasted pig and a handshake. That sound? First brick in a foundation nobody saw coming. At 12, she wins the Philippine National Open against 18-year-olds. Globe Telecom notices, hands her a sponsorship, and suddenly there's a plane ticket to Spain with Rafa Nadal Academy on it. 13 years old, suitcase stuffed with rice crackers and Lola's rosary. She lands in Manacor. First day on clay, she's sliding past juniors from 40 countries. Coaches notice 2 things: forehand heavier than a Manila monsoon, and a grin that says she's not homesick, she's hungry. She's doing algebra homework in Spanish and still FaceTiming her Lola every night. Fast forward to 2020 Australian Open doubles final. She and Indonesian partner Priska Nugroho steamroll the field, trophy in hand. She waves the Philippine flag stitched by her mom the night before. Media call it Southeast Asia's first junior slam since 2002. She just calls it Tuesday. Same year, Roland Garros singles semis, falls in 3 sets, but leaves with a new nickname, the Cyclone from Manila. 2021 French Open doubles, another title. By 2022 U.S. Open Juniors, she's the top seed, but seedings mean little when history's knocking. Final against Lucy Havlichkova, 6-2, 6-4. First Filipino ever, boys or girls, to win a junior Grand Slam singles crown. She signs the camera lens, para sa bayan, for the nation. Here's the part highlight reels skip. Futures events in distant towns, $15K purses that barely cover string jobs. She loses finals on tie breaks, wins 1 week, can't afford the next. Ranking hovers around 600. Filipinos on social media ask, is the hype over? 2023, shoulder strain, 3-week shutdown, and the first tearful phone call home.
What if I don't make it?
Dad replies,
Then we'll still love you, but you're not allowed to quit before breakfast.
She laughs, hangs up, and orders another bucket of balls. 2024 hits different. Semis at $60K in Valencia, then a final at the $100K Madrid Challenge. She cracks the top 200. French Open qualifying. Wins 2. Loses the last round. Wimbledon. Same story. Press back home starts every article with Alexandra Eala fell short. She screenshots every headline, prints them, sticks them on her dorm wall. Motivation or wallpaper, depends on the day. By October, she's ranked 142, earns a U.S. Open qualifying wildcard, and storms through 3 matches without dropping a set. Main draw debut, night session, Louis Armstrong, loses to Svitolina in 3 tight sets. Commentators rave, but she's inconsolable until Mom reminds her.
You just played under lights at the U.S. Open. 12-year-old, you would have sold a kidney for that.
Enter 2025. Semi-final at the Miami Open. Beats Andreescu, Muguruza, and world No. 5 Jessica Pegula, ranking Rockets to 67, then 56 on June 30th. First Filipino inside the WTA top 100 ever. Roland Garros main draw debut, wins a round, loses to Sabalenka. Media shifts. Eala is here to stay. She doesn't stay, she climbs. Grass season, quarterfinal at Eastbourne. Wimbledon, second round losses, now averaging 82 Mafo, top 10 territory. Summer hard court, semis at Washington, quarters at Toronto. Summer hard court, semis at Washington, quarters at Toronto. U.S. Open Series point standing. She's seeded for the first time at a slam. No, 28 at Flushing Meadows. Philippines wakes up, buys every streaming subscription, and converts basketball courts into pop-up tennis clubs with makeshift nets. First round, 2025 U.S. Open. Draw drops. Clara Tauson, world no, 14, big-hitting Dane, who just won Montreal. Outside courts buzz. Tough opener. First set. Tauson steamrolls 6-3. Second set. Eala adjusts, slices her backhand, drags the Dane side to side, snatches at 7-5. Decider breaks early. Then double faults twice, loses 4 straight games. Stadium court starts emptying. Filipino fans stay, waving a sun and stars flag against the New York night. 1 point from exit. Eala serves body, wrong foots Tauson. Ace. 5-2. Next point. Heavy forehand to the Dane's backhand. Forces error. 5-3. Change over. 90 seconds. She looks at her box. Mom's clutching that same rosary from Manila. Point 8. Tauson tightens, nets a sitter. 5-4. Point 9. Eala paints a forehand up the line. Hawkeye shows millimeters in. 5-5. Crowd's on its feet. Filipinos are crying. Tauson double faults. 5-6. Match point Eala. She misses. 6-6. Another Tauson double. 7-6. Second match point. This time she doesn't miss. Forehand return clips the net cord. This time she doesn't miss. Forehand return clips the net cord. The net cord. Drops dead. 8-6. History. The stadium erupts like a jeepney backfiring across Times Square. She drops her racket. Hands on knees, then the grin. Half relief, half destiny.
I'm just a girl from Quezon City.
Headlines next morning. Washington Post. The cyclone from Manila arrives. Le Monde a écrit l'histoire. ESPN Philippines. At last, we have a singles hero. She trends #1 worldwide above some K-pop comeback. Government promises new public courts. Local celebs post TikToks mimicking her forehand. A bakery in Cebu sells Eala rolls, twisted like topspin. Second round. She outlasts American wildcard Clervin Ganu in 3. Third round. Upset over world no 9 ons Jabeur. Fourth round. Falls to eventual champion IGA Ishirawotek, but exits inside Arthur Ashe to a standing ovation reserved for home favorites. Final 2025 ranking, no, 43. She flies back to Manila, gets a motorcade usually reserved for boxing champions, and tells a crowd of 40,000 at Rowell Park.
This isn't the finish line. We're just warming up.
If you felt that 5-1 breaker in your chest hit like so, YouTube knows you want more underdog stories. Let's talk tennis. She's lefty Western grip forehand loaded with topspin that jumps shoulder high to right-handers. Two-handed backhand. Compact, no loops, constructed in Spain's windy clay. Serve, 110 miles per hour flat, 102 miles per hour kicker out wide. Favorite pattern, inside-in forehand to drag opponent off court, then backhand slice short angle. Match point against Towson? That was a forehand on the return. She read the wide kicker, took it on the rise, dared the net cord, and won. Nadal, Academy DNA. Fight for every point like it's match point, smile like it's the first of the day. Off court, she sketches anime characters in her notebook. Haikyuu is her comfort show. Eats Lucky Me pancit Canton straight from the pot at 1 a.m. after losses. Speaks Tagalog to her brothers, English to the media, Spanish to her coaches, and sarcasm to anyone asking if she's the next anybody. Says her biggest fear isn't losing. It's letting a whole country down. Grandma's remedy for nerves, 1 spoon of pure honey, 1 Our Father. She's done it before every match since age 10. Says the science is probably placebo, but placebos windbreakers too. Olympic year 2026 looms, Paris clay, then LA hard court. Goal, medal for the Philippines. Something no tennis player has delivered since the country joined the games. Long term, top 10, Grand Slam quarter, then semi, then who knows. She keeps the same routine, train at dawn, study opponents at lunch, lift at dusk, call family before dinner. Sponsorships tripled after the US Open, but she still flies economy and packs her own grips.
Reason. I'm not here to be famous. I'm here to win.
Subscribe if you want front row seats when Alexandra Eala chases that next slice of history. You won't need to wake up at 3 a.m. alone. From a grocery store wall in Quezon City to a tiebreaker for the ages under the New York lights, Alexandra Eala turned a nation's quiet dream into the loudest roar in tennis. She didn't just win a match. She unlocked a door every Filipino kid will now walk through, racket in hand, head high. 5-1 down, 1 point from goodbye. She reminded us that mountains aren't moved by bulldozers. They're moved by refusal to quit on the next point. So remember the name, remember the forehand, and remember the forehand, and remember this. The Cyclone from Manila isn't finished. She's just getting started.